right, welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on Scrum meetings. You know the ones I'm talking about, those endless meetings that just go absolutely nowhere? Well, forget all that. We're about to show you how Scrum's special rhythm creates this powerful cycle that, well, it actually gets things done.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're stuck in a meeting, you have no idea what the purpose is, you're just watching the clock tick by. But what if, just imagine, every single meeting was actually designed to be productive? Well, that's exactly the promise at the very heart of the Scrum framework.
So the whole Scrum process, it all revolves around something called the sprint. Just think of it like a short, repeating cycle, usually like 1 to 4 weeks long. It's basically a container, a time box for all the work and all the meetings. It creates this steady, predictable rhythm that keeps projects on track and stops that feeling of just endless, chaotic work. Okay, so within each one of these sprints, there's a really clear journey with 4 key events. We're going to start with sprint planning, then we'll check out the daily sync-up, which is called the daily scrum, and we'll finish up the whole cycle with the sprint review and the sprint retrospective. It's this exact sequence, this 1, 2, 3, 4 punch, that gives the sprint all its power and structure.
So how does this whole journey kick off? Well, every great sprint is built on a really solid foundation of planning. It all starts with a team getting in a room together to figure out 2 simple things, the what and the how.
And that's sprint planning, the big kickoff meeting. This is where the entire team collaborates to answer 2 really simple but absolutely crucial questions. First, what can we actually deliver in this sprint? And second, how are we going to get that work done? This meeting sets the goal for everything that follows. It gives everyone a clear shared purpose from day one.
Now, how they choose that work is super interesting. Over here on the left, you've got the product backlog. Think of this as the master wish list for the entire project, everything we could ever want to do. Then, during sprint planning, the team pulls a small, super focused set of high priority items right off the top of that list, and that becomes the sprint backlog, which you see on the right. That is their to-do list for this sprint and this sprint only. Total focus.
Okay, so the plan is set, the sprint is officially underway. Now, how does the team stay aligned and, keep that energy high? That is where the daily huddle comes in. It's this quick little checkpoint designed to keep the momentum going strong. And here's the most important rule. The daily scrum is strictly limited to 15 minutes. That's it, 15. This is not a status report for a manager, okay? It's a high-energy sync-up for the team by the team. That strict time limit, it forces focus, it creates urgency, it makes everyone be concise, and it prevents that mental drain you get from long, rambling meetings. It's all about resolving issues, and resolving them fast. And that focus comes from 3 very simple questions that each person answers. First, what did I do yesterday to help us move toward our goal? Second, what am I going to do today? And honestly, most importantly, this one right here, are there any blockers in my way? That last question is the real game changer. It's a massive green light for the entire team to swarm on a problem and get it solved immediately. Okay, let's fast forward. The sprint is winding down, the work is done, and now it is time to close the loop. This happens with 2 separate but equally vital events. One is focused on the product we just built, and the other is focused on the process of how we built it. First up, you've got the sprint review. This is basically the team's demo day. It's where they show off the actual working product to their key stakeholders, customers, executives, whoever. And the real goal here isn't just to show off. It's to get raw, honest feedback. The business impact of this is huge. It means you never spend months building the wrong thing because you're constantly checking in with the people who matter most. Then, right after that review, the team huddles up for the sprint retrospective. Now, this one is different. It's a private internal meeting just for the team. Think of it as a structured, safe space for them to reflect on how they work together, on their whole process. They talk about what went well, what didn't, and they agree on specific, actionable improvements they can make in the very next sprint. And this is a perfect way to see the difference between the 2, side by side. The sprint review, that's all about the what. What did we build? The audience includes stakeholders, and the outcome is feedback on the product. The sprint retrospective, on the other hand, is all about the how. How did we work together? The audience is just the team, and the outcome is a solid plan to improve their process. So we've got this amazing cycle, right? Plan, do, check, adapt. But how does the team make sure the next sprint planning session is just as smooth and efficient? Well,
that's where one final crucial activity comes into play. This is what keeps the whole engine running smoothly. Yeah, when you put all of these events together, they create this incredibly powerful rhythm. You plan the work, you do the work, you check the results, and then you adapt your process. And this isn't a one and done thing. It's a constant cycle of improvement, sprint after sprint after sprint.
And the secret to making this whole cycle run like a well-oiled machine? It's an ongoing activity called backlog refinement. Now, this isn't an official, formal meeting, but it is an absolutely critical practice. It just means that throughout the sprint, the team is always looking ahead at future work, adding details, clarifying questions. It's all the prep work that makes the next sprint planning meeting so fast and so effective. It's how that big wish list, the product backlog, always stays ready to go.
So, here's the big takeaway. These aren't just random meetings thrown on a calendar to clog things up. No way. They are an interconnected system, a carefully designed framework for getting stuff done with focus, for getting valuable feedback early and often, and this is the most important part, for building the habit of continuous improvement right into the very fabric of how the team works. And that brings us right back to where we started. So instead of those aimless, totally draining meetings, just imagine having a clear rhythm of planning, doing, and improving. Imagine every single meeting having a very distinct purpose. Now think about it. How could a system like this completely transform the way your team works?